morning, dear people of the internet, and welcome to yet another final boss of overconsumption. I know I say this every single time, but I think it is warranted, and I think we should treat this like a D&D campaign against the big evil overconsumption. And then every chapter is a new trend or whatever that has a final boss of overconsumption at the end of the chapter, and this time it's the Lucky Scoop. And we defeat this boss by defining it and finding out how to stay away from it. I think that Lucky Scoops are the thing that happen when Temu and a lottery would have a child together. Before we get into all of that, I have a very short public service announcement. I have this very delusional plan of this channel supporting me through college and beyond, and luckily you can help me with that for free by subscribing and watching my videos, which I would appreciate a lot, so thank you for that. Now let's get started. The Lucky Scoop trend surrounds itself around these kinds of videos.
Pack 5 spoons of orders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Video 3 items. 7 solid cologne. 9 bookmark.
'I didn't show you the entire video because it is 12 minutes long and all of them are this long. Well, probably not all of them, but all of the popular ones are this long, and I think it's important when we are talking about the trend to pick the popular things in the trend so we know what the trend is. But they are all very long, so I didn't show you the entire thing. The premise of this Lucky Scoop thing is that the buyer can buy a certain amount of scoops, and then the seller scoops beads out of a bowl or whatever, and the beads correspond with an item on a board, and if you get 3 of the same beads, you get 3 of the item that the bead corresponds with on the board. Which is why the person who ordered this Lucky Scoop somehow got 9 bookmarks. I don't know what you would do with 9 bookmarks. Who is reading 9 books at the same time? Except when you're doing your PhD and need to keep things organized, maybe, but also academic papers are mostly online nowadays, so I don't know. But in the end, you end up with a big pile of stuff like this. This is an entire mountain of stuff. I think the only person who could potentially use all of this would be a teacher with some kind of reward system in their class, although I'm not very sure if that's a good way of teaching children. From the small amount I know about child psychology, somehow I have that knowledge. The reward system is probably not the greatest system to learn, but that is the only thing I can come up with for someone who could use all of this stuff. Or someone who is opening their own store to sell all of it. My flabbergasted soul aside, these videos have so much engagement bait in them, so you keep watching and eventually it comes on the page of people who would want to buy this stuff. First of all, we have the AI child voice. I find this a very diabolical way to show that you're targeting this towards children. And children are not people who are thinking about consumerism most of the time, and they shouldn't have to. The AI voice makes it sound very innocent, and again, targeted towards children. It kind of makes sense because this video would be borderline creepy if it was by an old man's voice, which is a sign, I think, to conclude that it is kind of creepy in a way. These are not just all children's products. Anyone can use these things. What is a child going to do with this amount of eye masks or whatever? So it is creepy, I think, especially since they're using this voice as a tool. And it's not just this maker, it's all of them, not all of them, but most of them are using this specific AI voice. The second way this video is engagement baiting is by the ASMR aspect of it. You can see that it's filmed like it is an ASMR video, it has the ASMR tag. Apps like TikTok reward you if people watch your video for longer. Now, people who watch ASMR, there are plenty of people who like that out there, like to watch a longer video with the ASMR sounds because that's why you watch ASMR. So I think this is a marketing strategy technology. The third way this video does engagement bait is by literally rage baiting people. The comments make clear that this works. The comments are full of people pointing out that the wrong stuff that does not correspond with the beads are put into the order, like how the maker puts combs in instead of hairbrushes, or the wrong amount of stuff, which also happens in a lot of these videos somehow. In this specific video it was mostly not enough items, but weirdly enough in most of these videos there are more items than the beads in the video, like there are free gifts, and people also get mad about that. And I think that kind of makes sense because it's not specified as a free gift, it's specified as 4 bracelets and then they put in 5, for example. It's not just this creator, as I said, there are plenty more of them out there, and it makes me a little sick because there's already too much stuff in the world. There are plenty of new things that can still be made because they're wonderful, because they're art or helpful to people or anything like that, but not this stuff that's ordered just without any creative input and then just put together. I don't like that. It's just consumerism. It's about buying the products and nothing else, if you ask me. Because nobody needs 9 of the same thing you can find in any dollar or euro store out there. Unless you're organizing a children's birthday party, for example, and that's totally fine, but then you don't need this big box of random stuff you did not expect. Or you did expect, but it's like a lottery, you don't know what you're going to get. I'm curious how much these cost, because on one hand it could be very cheap because there are so many things, and on the other hand there are so many things that it cannot just be 20 euros, because that would be very weird. I really just did not know what to expect, because this logic does not work like that. I didn't know. I took a look at the website and one scoop cost $69.99 or $109.99. It's $40 more expensive if you want them to pack it in the TikTok video, which is very confusing because to me it feels like a favor to the seller if you consent to them packing your order on a video. And to be clear, I think as long as the products are in the seller's house, the seller is always allowed to make a marketing video about it, as long as of course you keep the information of the buyer private, because that's private information, of course. So to be clear, I don't think anyone is doing anyone any favor, but apparently people are paying for this now, and I also have seen this in more videos. I guess it's because people are requesting for their order to be filmed, and they got so many requests they thought they could monetize that, and then they did. And I think that also adds to the thing that this is targeted towards children, because I think that adults are less likely to pay for that, but I'm not sure about that. It's a bit hard to determine how much this would cost also, because the maximum amount of scoops you can order is 3 scoops, and you can order like 5 singular scoops, but then you pay 5 times for the video. And if you order 3 scoops in a video, you only pay once for the video. So you would do this by ordering 2 scoops and 3 scoops and 2 videos or something. I really don't know. It's kind of weird. I have seen plenty of comments under this video and also under videos from similar creators that these orders are fake. There are plenty of arguments for the orders to be fake, and it all comes down to it making no sense. The customer would be paying an arm and a leg for a bunch of random things, and the more scoops you order, the more chance you have of getting duplicates. So ordering more than 1 scoop makes less sense than ordering just 1 scoop, which is already kind of expensive. It's also just not an amount of money that most kids just have laying around, even though it seems to be targeted at children. It's just very confusing. I did find a seller that particularly targets to adult women. That does not mean what you think it does. It's just the same thing, basically. But I will show you a video of that as well, and we should see if it makes any more sense.
Let's pack an unusual mystery scoop. It's not kawaii, but cute things for women that you can actually use every day. This order is for Eniko from the Netherlands. Handbag. Notebook. 2 mini wallets. Water bottle. Perfect for summer. Hobby kit.
I love how the maker said that it was not going to be kawaii, but then proceeds to put in hair clips, pens, and notebooks that could be considered kawaii. I do find this video slightly less unhinged, which is great, but it's still a pile of stuff that the customer may or may not be into. Like, it's still a lottery of random stuff. This person sells on Vinted, and you can only order 1 scoop at a time for around 96 euros. The promise is that you get around 40 to 80 items per scoop, so that comes down to about 2 euros. an item, less or more depending on how much you get, which is very little. I could buy 2 red bell peppers for that same price in this country nowadays. And inflation happened and groceries are expensive, but that's still not a lot in this day and age. Like everything else also became more expensive. The buyer also doesn't let you choose a vibe in this selling form. Maybe you can message them with what you want because they say in the video that you can choose, so it's just very confusing and not very clear if you have any say in what you want. And also, if you want to have any say in what you want, you should get the items separately. This is just more like buying an instant dopamine rush. When I was a little bit younger, I also wanted those dopamine rushes, and I have ordered some mystery box-ish items in my life before, like maybe 2 of them that I can remember. One was yarn and one was just random stuff from a specific website that I did like the stuff from. And I was just always a little bit disappointed after I unpacked it all because it was just not exactly what I wanted. The excitement of this is in the mystery part of it. After that excitement of the mystery part is gone, you're just left with a pile of stuff that you have to decide what to do with. You have to put it away or give it away or whatever. It is not worth it to me. It feels like littering the world. Marketing it towards grown women instead of children doesn't take the overconsumption part away. I find it a little bit less insidious, to be fair, but it's not the solution. The price makes me question the quality and the source of the product, and I'm sure that's different for every seller, but I did find this person validating their prices with the use of Temu somehow, so let's take a look at that.
How much does a lucky scoop from Temu actually cost? Lately, I've been getting comments saying that I'm just reselling stuff from Temu and that my prices are way too high, but that's not true at all. In this video, I'll show you the real prices straight from Temu, break down every single item, and add up the total cost for one full scoop at the end. Plus, I'll tell you exactly where I get my items from. I buy directly from factories in China. I don't use Temu or AliExpress at all. My goal is to make the box super worth it and suitable for everyone, both adults and kids. I always try to pick items based on your requests so that you're truly happy when you receive your box. If there's anything specific you want to see in my shop or any new items or ideas, please write in the comments. I'll definitely order it. So, here's the final price in my shop and on Temu.
First, I want to mention that it doesn't say anything about the quality of a product if it's manufactured in China. There's a lot of people who say like it's Chinese quality, meaning it's bad quality, but that's racist because people in China can make good things. Duh. Like, Chinese people are just people who have skills to make good things. However, cheaply manufactured things do exist, and the price is often a good indicator of the quality of the product and how ethically sourced or made a product is. Not always, but a lot of the times it is. If people are accusing you from reselling Temu things and you defend yourself by showing the products on Temu and then saying you bought the exact same thing off of another website, but it's also sold on Temu, it's not actually a great defense, because you're just actually affirming what people are saying by denying it. That doesn't make sense and it doesn't work like that. The people with the accusations are also very confusing to me, because what did you expect? Wow, a store is reselling stuff they found in a cheaper place. That is like what all stores are doing on some level. Even if I'm printing my zines, I am selling it to you at a higher price than the ink of my printer cost me. Duh. That's how stores work, because you need to make money to buy yourself food. And wait until they find out about Amazon, because there's a lot of people on there who are just doing this without doing any creative work in the middle. And I don't like that construction either, but it is a thing that is just sort of generally accepted. It's still a wild choice to validate your prices with the prices of Temu. I think most of the lucky scoops are actually too cheap for what you get, because these big orders make it seem like it's a cheap way to get as much stuff as you could ever have. As we calculated earlier, here, $96 for 30 or more things is actually not a lot. Sure, $96 sounds a lot for a bit of your fun money going towards things you're not sure you need or not. That is a lot. That's kind of the point here. But $96 is also a normal price for 60 or even less items at the grocery store. And again, inflation and groceries are expensive now, and again, so is everything else. The last thing I want to show you today is an unboxing of a Lucky Scoop, or part of it, because again, it's very long.
I've been waiting for 2 months for this Lucky Scoop to arrive. This was shipped by sea, and it was actually the first ever order I've ever made of Lucky Scoops back in January, and it is by Lightboard Scoops. I actually have a video for this order. I will play it right here, but I totally forgot what is inside. Honestly, I watched it a while ago, and I've been waiting for this, and today's the day where I remember. This is a very large box, by the way, kind of ripped in the bottom. So here we have some bubble wrap and a free air freshener, super cute, and my notes. So let's read it. 4 scoops, 4 gifts, and 4 gashas. I like pink, purple, blue, Hello Kitty, Cinema Roll, My Melody. I wanted earmuffs, apparently, a journal, and hair clips. Those were my first ever requests that I made. I first look for you. I think we're in. First look. Okay. A Cinema Roll backpack. Oh, this is so good. This is so cute with the blue and the pink. Okay. I'm excited for this now. Let's get into it. This was probably a gift for sure because it is so good. It's so big. This is really cute. I definitely will be probably gifting this off to somebody, but it is very cute. Second, we have a sleeping mask, gray. So that's a really nice addition to my collection with pink satin on the inside. Next, we have 2 hand towels.
You did see the sheer amount of things in that box, right? It's so much stuff. At the end of the video, she asked if people would like a giveaway from the stuff she showed in her Lucky Scoop unboxings, because that's like her entire account. Which also shows that she's indeed not gonna use everything in these Lucky Scoops. There's enough of it that she isn't going to use to make an entire giveaway. At least she's not throwing them directly into the trash, and at least she's doing a giveaway with it. But still, see my point here. I don't like social media accounts that have their entire premise be unboxings, wild surprise of course, and I cannot see the point in these Lucky Scoops in general. Beyond the dopamine rush of opening a package like this, I would assume that the effect on the brain is about the same as scrolling on TikTok. Maybe it has a little bit of a bigger happy juices in your brain release, but I would assume that's about it. I'm not a neuroscientist, as we all know, but to me it feels about the same, especially because I cannot imagine holding on to that happy feeling as you're done unboxing and seeing the pile that you have to put away now. I would summarize my reaction into one sentence. What in the holy overconsumption is this? Staying away from this also seems to be pretty easy, just don't engage. Thank you for watching. If you like my little video, please press the wonderful shiny like and subscribe buttons. And then I will see you next time. Ciao!